Hello, everyone. We'll get started in just one more minute, give folks time to check in with us. So if you will, just be patient and we'll be with you in just one more minute. And we see everybody is joining us at this time. So what we'll do is go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. My name is Janet Flaw, and I am with the Louisville Small Business Development Center. We want to welcome you to today's webinar, which is using Yelp to boost your holiday sales. And our presenter today is Emily Hagedorn of Yelp Louisville. Before I get started, I'd like to share just a little bit about the Louisville Small Business Development Center. We're located at 614 West Main Street in the heart of downtown Louisville. However, we do cover a 9-county region that starts in Jefferson and Bullitt counties and stretches east to Carroll and Owen counties. We have 3 consultants with extensive backgrounds in business consulting. We have over 25 years of combined service to the Small Business Development Center itself. They are David Etkin, our Center Director, Tony Sears, Assistant Director, and Valerie Henderson, a Management Consultant. We are part of the Kentucky Small Business Development Center Network, which covers every county in the state, and we're part of a national network covering every corner of the U.S. We are funded by the U.S. Small Business Administration through a matching grant with the University of Kentucky, and the City of Louisville and Greater Louisville, Inc. also provide support to our center. Okay, so now that I've said all that mumbo jumbo, so what does that mean for you? Well, what it means is we're here to support our local small business owners. And we do that in various ways, whether that's registering new businesses, helping with market research or a business plan, or helping you find capital to start grow a business. And all that is available at zero cost to you. You can meet with a consultant either in our office or at your place of business or even at a coffee shop. We do that quite regularly. We also offer low-cost and free workshops like today on various subject matter to help you help your business. And we do accounting basics to digital marketing to even QuickBooks training. So on your screen right now, you should see a picture of our team here along with our website and email information to connect with us if you'd like more information or schedule an appointment to meet with a consultant. In addition, you can connect with us socially via Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Louisville SBDC. So what we're going to do is go ahead and jump into everything and welcome Emily. And I'm going to have Emily start sharing her information.
Awesome. Let's see if I can share my screen. Give me 1 second. Too many things open. One moment. I think my other screen accidentally got closed. Give me 1 second, guys.
So just to let everyone know, we are recording today's event, and we will send you a copy of the recording if you have to leave or if you missed out on the first part. So we are recording and we'll send that to you. You'll have that information.
Yeah, best laid plans had all this queued up, and then of course something happens, but hopefully this is the only technical glitch of this presentation. So while this gets pulled up, I just want to thank everybody, first of all, for taking the time to join me today to learn a little bit more about Yelp for business owners and how you can use Yelp to kind of boost your sales during the holiday season. My name is Emily Hagedorn, and I'm the Yelp Louisville Senior Community Director. So a little bit more about me. I've lived in Louisville for about 10 years. And I can kind of remember the excitement when I first moved here, when I discovered neighborhoods or attractions or businesses that were new to me and that excited me. I remember when I first drove up Broadway and took a ride on Baxter and discovered the Highlands, and similarly the first few times I visited Norton Commons, and I had this feeling like, how have I not been here before? And that just kind of made me more and more excited to explore and learn more about where I was living. And that excitement to discover Louisville, as well as Kentucky, is kind of what has driven me since moving here. I was a journalist for the Courier-Journal when I first came back to Kentucky. I grew up in northern Kentucky, and I reported on local community. And then 5 years ago, I went to work for Yelp, bringing that kind of curiosity to a new realm. So as the senior community director, my job is to grow the Yelp community online and off. This includes marketing, event planning, and educating business owners on the free tools available to make the most of their Yelp listing. So today I'm going to go over a few needle movers that you can utilize to get more traffic to your Yelp listing, with an eye specifically on the holiday season, and then ultimately how to get more customers through Yelp. So as I mentioned, everything I talk about today is a free tool that you have access to through your Yelp for Business Owners account. And this is my email address, so feel free to jot it down if you have any questions. We'll also have some Q&A at the end. And if you have anything specific about your own business listing or just want to chat more one-on-one, please get in touch. If you forget this email address, Louisville@yelp.com, come straight to me as well. So one way or another, you can definitely find me. So just one thing to think about, how many people use Yelp on this call as a consumer and use Yelp as a business owner? So think the last time you used Yelp as a consumer, what was the last thing you found on Yelp? What were you looking for? Did you buy anything? And that's what we're going to be talking about today, kind of how to look at your page from the viewpoint of a consumer, rather than maybe a business owner, to put you in the shoes of the consumer. So keep that in mind going forward. So some stuff we're gonna cover today. First, we're gonna talk about consumer behavior. Then we'll transition into some action items for you to do with your Yelp for Business Owners account. The first being profile completeness, and then photo uploads, how to grow your reviews, and then lastly, how to respond to reviews. So all these action items can be helpful in kind of turning using Yelp and getting consumers to spend money at your business. And then at the end of each of these sections, I'll share a list of action items to kind of do for your to-do list going forward. So when you find yourself with 15 to 20 minutes in the next few days, you can kind of go through some of these items to check off, and definitely have everything complete before the holiday season definitely kicks into gear, which seems to be happening early and earlier every year. So first, to start with consumer behavior. So like I said, I want you to take off your business owner hat for a moment and think about things from a consumer perspective. So we're all consumers too, after all. So how often do you pay attention to online reviews? And have you used reviews to make a decision, not just through Yelp, but through other types of reviews in general? So for example, reviews are everywhere. I get nervous when I see an Uber driver come to pick me up with a low star rating. If I am having people over and I'm trying to make a recipe for the first time, I like to make sure that it's been vetted, and that it's a good recipe for me to spend my time and money on. If I go to a movie, I definitely don't want to spend 2 hours watching a movie that I'm not going to like. So reviews are everywhere nowadays. And that definitely translates into Yelp and translates into how people shop and use their money. So these are some recent statistics from a survey that Bright Local did. And this top number really skyrocketed this year. So 97% of consumers are reading reviews, and they want to make sure their purchases are smart purchases. So beyond that, 85% of them are saying they trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. One of your friends might say that Starbucks is the best place for coffee, while a lot of other people might have other recommendations. So people want to hear from a lot of people and kind of crowdsource where they go and where they spend their money. And then when it comes to review content for local businesses, consumers rank Yelp the #1 review site to do their searching. Nielsen, this comes from a Nielsen study that's been updated over the last couple of years, and every year Yelp comes out #1. So even if you Google your business, your Yelp page is often going to come up either before a lot of times or just after your own website. So it's important to know what is out there about your business. So who is actually on Yelp? Some demographics. 63% of Yelp users are over the age of 35. 81% of them have a college degree or higher, and 69% earn $60,000 or more annually, with nearly half of our users reporting earning a household income of $100,000 or more. So these people are educated, they have money to spend, and they're trying to make a good decision on where to spend that. So what you can do as a business owner in order to get in front of that audience, and is important to think about, who is searching for your business, offering whatever, you're looking for what you're offering in terms of good or services. These people are coming, with money. Think of them coming with money in hand, looking to make a decision fast on where they spend it. So it all starts by claiming your business listing, which you can do by going to biz.yelp.com. So yelp.com is kind of the consumer-facing side of Yelp, and biz.yelp.com is a separate website, and it's for business owners. So if you take nothing else away from this talk, remember biz.yelp.com is where you can get a lot of these tools that I'm going to be talking about. Then we also have a business owner's app, which allows you to keep track of your Yelp activity and notifications on the go. It's a free app, and you can complete your profile through the app, track your engagement, respond to reviews, manage your overall reputation of your listing. You can get alerts whenever someone writes a review or posts a photo to your page. And I definitely encourage all of you to download this by going to Google Play or iOS or the App Store on your Apple or your iPhone. And search for Yelp Biz, and it will come up. So the real reason you're all here today, obviously, is to grow your business. And we found that on average, businesses see an increase of $8,000 in their annual revenue generated after they claim their business owner account, they claim their business page. So all the action items I'm going to cover in the next sections are going to help you increase the opportunity of being found when consumers are searching on Yelp for a good or service you offer, and ultimately help you make more money. So let's get started. So completing your profile. We know that businesses with complete profiles see 4 times as many user views or customers who search Yelp and then click on their business page, and 5 times more customer leads, which are actions a customer takes beyond just looking at your listing. So for example, mapping directions or calling directly from Yelp. So one thing to think about, how many of you have seen a business website that has different information from their Facebook page? Or different information if you look on their Yelp page versus on their website. That's one of the most personally frustrating things to me when I see a review come in that's a negative or a critical review saying, I came out of my way to come to your business and your hours are wrong, and you closed early or whatnot, or I couldn't find a phone number to get in touch. Because these are such basic things that can get right and can make all the difference in terms of getting people into your business. So we want to make sure that information is clear and consistent across all your platforms. So this is what Yelp for Business Owners looks like on desktop and mobile when you log in. So the first thing you'll see is a snapshot of activity. And the first thing we're going to focus on is the business information. So you can see we highlighted here where you can find that section on the left-hand side of your account. And in that section, you can start by updating and confirming that your business information is filled out and accurate. So different things that are covered under the business information, your business name, address, phone number, website, categories, and attributes. Again, these all seem like very basic things, but can make all the difference in the world in terms of getting people into your business or in contact with you. And then one thing to point out with categories, so you can have up to 3 on your Yelp page. So be sure to look at the categories you're currently in and add the 3 most relevant to what you do. So you can think about the different types of customers that you're wanting to work with. If you're a florist, for example, you're going to be listed under florists, flowers and gifts, and floral designers if you offer arrangements. If you're an Italian restaurant that has maybe an area for TVs for folks to watch basketball games, football games, you might want to add sports bar as well to Italian to your list of categories. So, and if you need help coming up with categories, always feel free to reach out and we can kind of chat about that a little bit more. So hours. You can also edit your hours in the business information section. A lot of this might seem, again, self-explanatory, but I want you to think in the mindset of a consumer. So most consumers are searching on mobile. 70% of all Yelp searches come from a mobile device, and it's growing. And those users are making spending decisions usually within a day. So more often than not, consumers are now searching using the filter Open Now, which you can do on the Yelp app and on the site. So if you don't have any hours listed, you're excluding yourself from that customer's options before they even know you exist. So the hours are incredibly important. Even if you're a business that goes by appointment only, the hours can let people know when they can call you or get in contact with you. And we can talk a little bit more about the other business information where you can put that you're appointment only to kind of help keep people in the know of how you work. We also have a newer feature called special hours, which will be very important during the holiday season, which allows you to log into your account and indicate changes to your hours for dates in the future. So by setting those hour changes up in advance, your Yelp page will automatically reflect that during when those hours are active. So if you're open later for the holidays, if you're closing earlier or closing, during not just Christmas and New Year's, this is a great place for you to put that. And then further information, you also have the opportunity in the business information section to complete your specialties, history, and meet the owner sections. I like to think about these sections as a review for your business without a star rating. So you can write a little bit about what you offer, what sets you apart, the services you provide, and the backstory of your business. All of the information and content you add to the business page helps you appear more in search. So use keywords or phrases that would spark a consumer's or customer's interest in what they might be searching for when finding your business. So for example, somebody can search on Yelp for sushi, or they could search on Yelp for spicy tuna roll. So doing these will likely yield different lists. And those lists are going to be generated by the reviews on the page and the other content that is searchable. So if you specialize in something and it's not in your reviews anywhere, it's even more important to put that in your specialties section. Another thing to point out, it's important to think of Yelp as something different than Google though. On Google, you want to list as many search terms. It's more robotic, but it helps with SEO. On Yelp, conversely, you want to think of this as having a conversation with consumers. So you don't want to just make a list of terms. You want to make sure you're including key terms in a conversational way. History is where you can give people a reason to go to your business and maybe not the person across the street. People like to shop with local businesses and like it when it's family owned and has been around for a while or has an interesting background and history of how it got to be doing what it's doing. Meet the owner, that's where you can humanize your business, put a face to your business. People like to buy from people, so tell them who you are. And the business recommendations is a really cool feature that I think isn't utilized the best way that it could. So you can list up to 5 other businesses that you recommend and endorse. So along with just, if you want to put your business BFFs up there, that's great. I've also seen businesses that maybe have more than one location use this to list other locations where people can click through directly to see those other Yelp pages. Or if you're a restaurant or a shop that specializes in offering items from maybe a local farm or another local maker, you could list those other businesses in here as well, and it could be another way you educate people about your business. And then since the holidays are coming up, definitely wanted to put this in here. There's Yelp deals and gift certificates, which you can opt into. So Yelp deals are kind of like Groupon or Living Social or any of those other type of discounted voucher systems. So they're discounted vouchers that customers can purchase from your business directly via Yelp. You can limit the number sold, and the breakdown is for every Yelp deal sold, the business keeps 70% of the value, and Yelp keeps 30%. And then gift certificates, you have to offer a Yelp deal to also offer a gift certificate, but you can set the price. And the breakdown for that is a business keeps 90% of the value, and Yelp keeps 10. The good thing is you can put these up, and if you don't owe anything, if nobody buys any, you don't owe anything. So if someone does buy it, then it's extra money that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And plus, especially with, getting down to the wire in holiday shopping, having that available right then and there that people can click on and buy immediately can be very helpful. So some quick action items involving kind of business information, make sure your basic information is correct, your hours, your specialties, history, meet the owner, and then recommendations. And if you'd like to do a Yelp deal or gift certificate on top of that. So next we're going to go into photos because consumers search with their eyes. So it's very important that you're thinking about the photos that are out there about your business. And I want you to think about your photos kind of as your digital storefront. Yelp users like to go window shopping online. So when you think of photos and what the best photos to add to your business listing are, think of a virtual tour of your business. So consumers are paging through these photos to get a sense of what to expect before they come to your business or hire you for a service. So I know that business pages with 10 or more photos see 12 times more consumer leads per month. So at the minimum, definitely upload at least 10 photos. Make sure there's at least 10 photos on your account or on your business page. So you'll recall this is what it looks like when you log into the Yelp for Business Owners on the web or on the app. And then when you click on photo and video, you'll be taken to a page where you can, for free, upload unlimited photos and caption them, an important step in describing what consumers will be seeing if they come to your business and kind of helping you be found more in search, which we'll get into in a sec. So I know personally, if I get to the end of a photo reel, I'm not happy. And I look at a lot of pictures before I decide what to order a restaurant or where to shop at. So you can upload, again, as many photos as you can. So definitely, this is one area, go to town and putting your best foot forward. So the type of photos that are good to share. When you're uploading photos to your listing, consider a variety of photos, so photos of yourself or your team, the outside of your business to give consumers an idea of where you're located. Exteriors are especially important if you're hidden at all. So if you're on the second floor, in the back of the building, if people have to go through a bright red door to get to you, that can be very helpful. There's also the inside of your business to show off the decor and ambiance and highlight some of the items that set you apart. If you have a menu item or service that you offer, especially during the holidays, if you have something special, this is where you can show that. If you're the face of your business, show them yourself, show them your team, show them the work that you've done. If you have a service type business, if you're a roofer, contractor, plumber, highlight some of those services through your pictures. And also think of it as, people could be inviting you into your home if you have a service. So this helps them feel more comfortable doing that. And it's really important, one, not to use stock photos. Make sure they're all real photos of your business. And this is, again, where people are going to be sticking their head into your business and looking around. So give them all of that visual information that they need. So some action items related to photos. Again, when you're uploading these photos, make sure you include a caption. Those captions can help you appear in search. They get factored into search. So if someone is searching for chimney replacement or whatnot, put a picture of a chimney that you replaced and put that in the caption. You can also flag photos if they're not of your business or if they no longer reflect what you offer. Like if you had a renovation and your business looks completely different, you can flag others' photos that aren't relevant anymore. Additionally, you can upload new photos or remove your own old photos when things change in your business, such as if you had items you offered during the holidays and you're no longer offering them. So probably the biggest question I get from businesses is, how do I get reviews? Especially since Yelp is a bit different from other review sites and that it doesn't want businesses to expressly ask customers to write reviews on Yelp. This might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but think of it this way. How many of you have been in an Uber or in a hotel and they ask you if you had a nice time and you reply yes, and then they say, well, great, will you leave us a 5-star review? Kind of get that feeling in your stomach that, wondering if this person is being nice to me just because they're a nice person and it's good customer service, or because there was an ulterior motive and they wanted something out of it. So you definitely want to kind of avoid giving that feeling. And we found that reviews are more useful when they come from an organic place of someone being motivated on their own to write a review. That doesn't mean there's nothing you can do, which we'll get to in a sec. But before that, I also want to point out that if a Yelper mentioned good customer service in a review, they are more than 5 times as likely to give it a 5-star review rather than 1 star. Similarly, nearly 70% of bad customer service experiences are given 1 star. Customer service is the biggest thing mentioned in 5-star and 1-star reviews. So it's the biggest thing that can push you up or take you down when it comes to what people are writing in the reviews. So if you take nothing else away from this topic, take away how important it is to focus on customer service when it comes to getting reviews. Your food, your service can be the best there is, but couple that with bad service and it doesn't show up in great reviews. So rather than asking for reviews, think of it maybe instead of kind of laying breadcrumbs to get people to your Yelp page. So the first thing that you can do is prioritize your Yelp presence, which is what you're doing by making sure your page is updated. But beyond this, you can make updates to your Yelp page a regular part of your weekly workflow. I know some business owners set a calendar reminder for them to kind of assess their page at a certain time each week. And this can include uploading photos, responding to messages. Yelp also, the last couple of years, started a Q&A feature where people can write a question about your business, similar to like on Amazon if you write a question about a product. So going on and making sure if there's any new questions that they're answered. And responding to reviews, which we'll kind of get to more in the next section. And you can also set up a check-in offer. So consumers can check into businesses via the Yelp app, similar to how they check in on Facebook. And on Yelp, when someone checks in, they can choose to share that check-in offer on social media, spreading the word even further that they're at your business. Also, the next time they log on to the desktop site or the app, it will ask if that person wants to write a review of the place that they checked into. So in effect, Yelp is kind of asking them to write a review for you. Emails also go out to Yelpers regularly with some of the places they've checked into or searched for on Yelp, and so that's further motivation for them to write a review. And if you'd like, you can create a check-in offer that pops up when someone checks in. This could be a percentage off, a free item, or a set price for a good or service. So you can set this up via your business owner's account. You can track how many people are using the check-in offers. And they have to show this to an employee to redeem. So it's also a real-time indication of telling you or your employees that this person uses Yelp. And plus, one of my favorite parts is that checking in is more widely used by some of our more active members, which includes our Yelp Elite Squad, who are more likely to also write a review. So your check-in offer also doesn't have to be a lot. I know there's a couple places in town, some breweries, for example, that offer a sticker if someone checks into their brewery. I've also seen it where a business offers a free hug. And it's just something fun and different in terms of, helping. And then also, again, they later get prompted if they like to write a review. And just real quick, it's a way to further educate people about a business. So this check-in offer on the screen is from Mayan Cafe here in Louisville. And so they offer one free side of lima beans, which is one of their signature items. So they also use this as an opportunity to educate people about the lima beans, which you can see kind of below in the gray text. So even if someone doesn't get the lima beans, they still learn something new about the business. So you can also build your brand around reviews. So this is an example from Muscle and Burger Bar downtown, which puts their good reviews on a street sign or a sidewalk sign in front of the restaurant. So I've seen some put their best reviews on t-shirts or napkins. This could also be done online, such as sharing your reviews and user photos as testimonials on social media or your website. Some people I found stick their reviews kind of deep inside their website. I say put them front and center. Show that it helps show people that you care about feedback and rewards the people who took the time to write a good review of your business, building brand loyalty. There are also widgets that you can get via the Yelp site to kind of make this easier for you. It can also be useful to think of reviews throughout your interaction with the customer. There's a really great book called Everyone's a Critic that talks about this in depth, about how to make reviews part of the conversation without asking for reviews. And what I mean by this is, ask customers how they heard about your business, if they heard about it from reviews. If they did say they heard about it from reviews, chat with them about that. Tell them how important feedback is to you. This is a photo of a business card mentioning Yelp, which could be given out at the beginning of a conversation. You could also include Yelp in online conversations. So include the Yelp icon in your email signature or in your business voicemail. You're mentioning Yelp, but not as a direct solicitation, but again, part of the conversation. And lastly, as I said, focus on service. Can be the biggest thing that gets you a really great review. And then one other thing mentioned in the Everyone's a Critic book, give them something to write about. So if there's, for example, I know Fonte's Coffee here in Louisville, you get a coffee from them, which is kind of like, basic staple to get from a coffee house. And they serve all their coffees with like a side of a cookie, which is just something different and unexpected that I've seen show up in reviews and be mentioned. So give them something to write about, something a little bit different that they're going to remember after their interaction with you. So that's a lot of information, but in summary, prioritize your Yelp presence, examine the conversations you and your staff are having with customers, and see if there are ways to include how important feedback is to you in those conversations, and focus on service. Most consumers are going to make 3 touch points with the business before making a decision, especially if it's a big purchase decision. And so give them those touch points, give them that information as much as you can, and give them, ways to interact with you as much as you can up front. So this is the hardest part of the presentation. I'm sure a lot of you have at least one review in mind. When I say critical review, whether it's of your business or maybe a review that you read of another business. And when you get critical reviews, it's important to remember it's not the end of the world. Every page, every business will have a critical review at one point. Plus, putting on kind of your customer hat for a moment, customers expect businesses to have bad reviews from time to time, and even trust a business's reviews more if they have a bad review. It helps show that a business has been vetted. It shows that they feel like they can trust those reviews more. So another fun fact, 4-star businesses make more money than 5-star businesses on Yelp. So as you get bad reviews, take a deep breath, keep that in mind. You're not the first business that's gotten a bad review. And again, people expect businesses to have bad days on occasion and to get bad reviews. And then when a critical review is responded to within 24 hours, we found that 33% of users update their review. And there are a few types of reviews that you can receive on Yelp, and 2 types of review response methods that you have access to through your Yelp for Business Owners account. So let's first start by talking about the critical reviews. There are 3 types of critical reviews. Legitimate critical reviews, where the reviewer raises a concern worth addressing. This is where things will go according to plan, and it's worth kind of acknowledging the feedback. Inaccurate reviews, where the reviewer misunderstands or misrepresents your business in the review. And then a rant that's just unhelpful and productive. Everybody has customers that they have that are just strange. No matter what you do, no matter what you try, you're not going to make them happy. And one thing, talking to business owners, I mentioned to them sometimes, if the review sounds out there and kind of nuts to you, it'll sound like that to other people who are reading that review. And then I want to take a moment here quick to highlight the fact that negative reviews are not the norm on Yelp. It's a misconception that people think people just go on Yelp to tear down businesses, but nearly 80% of Yelp reviews are positive, and there are more 5-star reviews than 1, 2, and 3-star reviews combined. So they do happen though. So to arm you with kind of the best review response tactics, here are some ideas. First, let's remember that when you're responding to a review with a public comment, you're responding to every potential customer or Yelp user who is looking at your page. So more than even responding to that one person who wrote the bad review, think about everybody else. So this is a good thing. Public comments provide you the opportunity to set the record straight or apologize to a customer and illustrate your customer service practices as a business. If someone came up to you and said something was bad about the interaction, you wouldn't just turn your back on them and walk away. In a real face-to-face situation, you would address it. So take that same stance with your reviews as well. You don't want to get into a back and forth dialogue with the customer through public comment. So you just kind of want to keep it simple. I suggest, starting with just thank you for your feedback, or thank you for bringing this to our attention. Any public response that you post, they're only going to see a line and a half, and then see a line to click on to read more. So, so you definitely want to put kind of your most diplomatic self at the top. And saying thanks for your feedback kind of shows people that you can take critical feedback and that you're showing that it's being handled. And then next, address their concern and reinforce your business practices. Maybe even use it also as an opportunity to educate people about your business. So, for example, you could say, Emily, thank you for taking the time to provide us this feedback. I'm sorry you had a less than exceptional experience with us. Here at such and such restaurant, we strive to offer the best farm-to-table food and get it to the table in 15 minutes or less. It looks like it took a little bit longer in this case. And we apologize. We love guest feedback. We're going to share your comments with our team and review it and use it to coach. So I hope you come and see us again when you're in the area. And then lastly, you can always offer to take the conversation offline You can conclude your public comment with a mention of sending them a direct message and looking forward to hearing back from them to see how you can improve on this experience. Don't offer anything free or comped via a public comment. Do that directly if you want to during a direct message. If you want to say, I'm sorry, this didn't work out. Please let me send you a gift certificate so you can come back to us. That's fine, but I would do that in a direct message instead. You don't want people to see that they can maybe use this to get something out of you. No cookie cutter responses. That's sometimes even worse than not responding at all. And then you should come up with a plan for how you address critical responses before you get to that point. If as a business owner, if you can't do this, if it's too personal and you worry that you're going to write a response out of anger, have somebody else you trust write the response. Give it to them. This is by kind of flying off the handle. That's not a way to show great customer service online. Another thing to consider, 95% of consumers will not complain in a place that you can find it. They talk to a friend or talk on social media and might not tag your business. So if someone writes a review, even if it's a critical one, that's great, because that is an opportunity to turn them around. Another good book that I always recommend businesses read is called Hug Your Haters, because at least you know about it. At least you have an opportunity to address it. This is your kind of time to be an undercover boss and see what's going on in your business when you're not there. And this gives you an opportunity to correct the situation. And especially if there's a trend, that's the biggest thing when you're looking at your critical reviews. If people are saying an item's too expensive, or it takes so long to come out, or the quality isn't great, this is your way to identify that and correct it before it gets out of control. So positive reviews, happier reviews. If someone again comes up to you and says, I had a great experience, you're not going to turn your back on them. So, again, use that kind of, think of what you would do in real life and kind of try to transfer that to online. So for positive reviews, consider, is there something that you can add to the positive review for your future customers? Maybe something they highlighted in their review that you want to amplify, like a special dish or service that you offer. Especially if it's during the holidays and it's, you want to make that widely known that you're offering that for a limited time. Consider a public comment. If not, sending a quick note through a direct message is a great way to create a personal connection with the customer. Yelp also recently introduced, you can kind of similar to liking a post on Facebook, it'll send a thanks to someone for writing a review. So it just says, such and such business owner thanks you for your review. So it's easy and it shows, that they actually read your review. And even if you don't have anything to add, once in a while, I think it's great to post a public comment. It shows that you're paying attention and value the positive reviews as well as the critical reviews. And these people are your brand advocates. It builds customer loyalty. They took the time to sit down, to formulate a review, to tell other people about your business. When you respond to them, they're more likely to keep coming back to you as a customer. So some action items. Every time you're considering a review response, you always want to take a minute, pause on the feedback you got, and make sure you're not responding too quickly or harshly or out of anger, especially if it's a critical review. Take the high road. You definitely don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're arguing with a consumer in front of other potential customers digitally. And even if it's a private message you send them, that person can screenshot that and show that to other people. So even if it's a private response, you still take the high road and be diplomatic. And lastly, take comfort in knowing that when you respond to reviews, you're prioritizing customer service, doing everything that you can. But as a very engaged business owner, friend once said, you can't please 100% of customers 100% of the time. So at the end of the day, all you can do is actively reach out, try to make it better, and then move on. So in summary, I know we talked about a lot of stuff. So here are some action items, some to-dos that you can look at in the next couple weeks as you get ready for the holidays. Complete your business page. Make sure the basic information, hours, specialties, history, photo, bio, business recommendations are all up to date. Again, claiming your business, if you haven't yet, is free to do, and go to biz.yelp.com to do that. Upload your own photos. Make sure you're providing captions, describing what consumers are looking at and giving them kind of the digital experience of your business before they spend money with you. Remember, the captions are searchable or help you show up in search. Flag any inaccurate photos or photos that no longer depict your business, and update the other photos that you've already posted. To grow your reviews, focus on prioritizing your Yelp presence to help show people that you care about feedback, such as by posting a check-in offer. Examine the conversations you're having with customers and focus on customer service. And then lastly, put a review response method in place that works for you and your business. You have 2 types of review responses that you can use: public comments and direct messages. Additionally, you can share your positive reviews across your social channels, such as Facebook, etc., to kind of spread the positivity and generate buzz about your business. And then real quick, be remiss if I didn't mention Yelp events. A big part of my job is putting together events for our local Yelp community that highlights local businesses. And if you're not in Louisville and other cities, Lexington has somebody in my role as well. Similarly, Cincinnati covers Northern Kentucky. So reach out if you're interested. Businesses are free or Yelp events are free for businesses to participate in. And we just kind of work together to show off whatever you want to highlight. So if you're a restaurant, usually it involves setting aside a special area of your restaurant for the event and providing the food or whatever you want to highlight. A lot of our events are for our Yelp Elite Squad, who are the most active and influential people on the site. There are a group of influencers who like to talk about where they go, what they see. So it's a great group to get in front of. And actually this morning, we RSVPs open for our biggest event of the year called Yelp's Art in Action. This year is going to be at the Speed Art Museum. And last year we had 900 people and 60-something businesses take part. And it's all about kind of highlighting the creativity of Louisville and beyond, with food and drink and performances, whatnot. And one thing we're trying to do more and more is highlight not just restaurants, because any business can be on Yelp, but other types of businesses as well, because we want to get those in front of interesting consumers too. So if this is something you're interested in, please feel free to reach out and we can find a creative way to do hopefully an event with you in the future. And then here is my information again. If you ever need to email me, emilyh@yelp.com or louisville@yelp.com comes to me. You can tweet Instagram at Yelp Louisville, and then on the Yelp blog, there's a whole section for business owners with more information. So I will turn it back over, and if there are any questions, feel free to let me know.
Emily?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, this is Jan. I was having trouble unmuting my microphone. This is Janet again. So, folks, we'll give you just a minute to look at the Q&A and type some questions in for Emily as we wrap up. I wanted to, as they're taking the opportunity to do that, I just wanted to ask quickly, I know that we reviewed uploading photos and what to keep in mind, that sort of thing. What do you suggest on the video side? What is most helpful if you want to put some videos up on your?
I think and I'm pretty sure the limit is like 15 seconds. So they're short videos that you can post up. But welcoming people to the business, again, putting the face to the business. Walking through the door. Sometimes it can be hard to show the interior of a business just through a photo. And so kind of showing that through video can be helpful. If there's, if there's a short kind of behind the scenes video that you can put up, that's great. And I think that's also, and again, this is something a little bit beyond the free tools, but if there's an add-on to where Yelp will actually send out a video person to take a professional video of your business to put up as the main thing on your photo roll when people come to your page. So if video is especially something you're interested in, there's even some advanced options for that.
Oh, okay. Okay. And so I'm not seeing any questions come up yet. What I want to do is just kind of give that just one more second. But in the meantime, Emily, I want to thank you for sharing all this valuable information. And thank all of you guys for joining us in today's webinar. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll be forwarding the recording to you all along with a link to a survey for today's event. We appreciate you taking a moment to fill that out for us. Again, if you'd like to meet with a consultant, just connect with us and we'll get started. I do see, okay, hold on just a second here. So Emily, I'm not sure if you can see that on the screen. Scott has a question, says, any specific suggestions for businesses that have no physical location and are service-based?
I mean, I think even more so than the making sure the information is good on there. Putting the address of the business, if you have some type of office, it's good to put that on there. I mean, if not, putting Louisville, and I know for certain types of businesses, you can put a territory. Service-based businesses especially can put a territory up, and so that makes that even more important to make sure, if you're a real estate person that covers, a few counties, for example, making sure that that territory covers those counties. And then photo-wise, since chances are if you don't have a physical location, that means you might be going out to meet people in person otherwise, making sure that you have pictures and photos up showing who you are and information about who you are so people feel comfortable coming up to you. And then, going back to the hours, even if you don't have hours when people can come to you to visit, making sure your hours are listed so they know maybe when they can reach out and call you. That can be helpful as well.
Okay. From Chris, he says, "Hi, Emily. My company does business across the country. We are a financing firm where we help secure funding for entrepreneurs. We have an office, but seeing how we do business everywhere, what would you recommend for a type of business where it's not your standard brick and mortar setup?"
Yeah, I think you could still, have a page. And I believe there's, and I can look back through the categories, like incubator or business consulting categories. And if anybody's interested, I can email me and I can send you the full list of categories if you can't find them online, so you can kind of see all that. You could also set up multiple locations. So if you have specifically, if you really focus on, Louisville, Cincinnati, Chicago, you can set up different locations that, for example, like Uber and Lyft and Postmates and all those kind of not brick and mortar services that are in a bunch of different cities. A lot of cities have pages for them still as a way for people to find them. So you can link in one business owner account, I believe it's up to 10 locations for free. After that, you have to pay to have more on your business owner account. But, having multiple locations and still, giving people the opportunity to share content, because we're even finding more people are searching on Yelp for non-brick and mortar businesses, or searching for some of those categories that are a little bit more different than just retail and restaurants. Service in the past couple years service industries have boomed on Yelp. So I think there's still a way you can set up your page and still have that information out there in case somebody is searching within Yelp for it. At least you have it there.
Okay. Dantisha asked if there's any costs associated with being part of Yelp.
I mean, it depends on what you want to do. For claiming the page, all the stuff I talked about today is free. The only thing is with the Yelp deals and gift certificates, there's a breakdown if you want to put them up. But claiming your page, putting pictures up, check an offer, responding to review, that's 100% free to do. And then there is, if you want to do Yelp ads, beyond that, that's completely up to you. And that's, if anybody's interested, I can always put you in contact with the person that does that. But my suggestion is always do all the free stuff first. So then if you do go on to doing some Yelp ads, you're in a better position to know if they're making a difference and see how, and knowing how you can target them better. But yeah, everything today was free for businesses to do.
Okay. David asked if you can expand on the Yelp events. What are they and how to participate?
So we do, it depends on the month. I've done about 150-ish. I think I just reached 150 events in my 5 years with Yelp. And so usually we have between 2 to 4 events just for our Yelp Elite Squad a month with other events that anybody can come to. And so kind of the process with that is either I reach out to a business that I think would be great for an event, or maybe they come to me. And then we talk about what is the message that you want to get across to consumers. What is the main takeaway? For anybody who comes to the event and comes away, what do you want them to be talking to their friends about when it comes to your business? And then we kind of put together an event around that where, maybe, and usually, what I kind of handle with that is once we have a theme, a date, a time, a capacity, which we can kind of limit it to however many people fit for the event. For our lead events, our smallest has been about 15 people and our biggest has been 180, not including Art in Action, which is kind of a whole different beast and lots more people. but we kind of, then I go from there, and if I need to pull in other businesses to participate, so say we're doing an event where a DJ would be fun, or I don't know, a clown, or like if it's not at a restaurant, we did an event at a car dealership last year, which was my first for me. But what we did was in the service space set up a drive-in movie. So it was a drive-in movie themed event. So we had a big video screen and showed Fast and Furious. And then it was at Oxmoor Acura. So they had their cars out so people could take pictures in these really fast cars. And we brought in different food and drinks and stuff from different businesses that fit with the theme. And I hire a photographer for each of our events, or for our Yelp Elite events. So the businesses involved get pictures they can use for free afterwards as well, that we share on our social media. And then I reach out, by the time the event's over, if it's a Yelp Elite Squad event, even if everybody in the squad didn't come to the event, they have gotten, 2 to 3 emails about the business and have seen it on our social media and seen it mentioned on Yelp, on the reviews. And we set up a special review page for all of our Yelp events, just because so the reviews from the event themselves won't go on the business's review page, because our events are free and kind of one of a kind experiences. So it's not really fair to put those reviews next to other reviews. You want people to think that they could come to Oxmoor Acura every day and see a drive-in movie. But the businesses can still share those reviews. They go up on Yelp like every other, so people can see them. And I think it's, a lot of businesses have used this to get some content, whether through the photos, professional or user photos, or the reviews that they can use on their social media afterwards as well. But yeah, please get in touch if anybody's interested in learning more about that.
Okay, great. It looks like that was our last question. So again, thank you, Emily, so much for joining us today. And thank everybody for chiming in and asking some questions there. Until next time, we thank you for joining the Small Business Development Center and Yelp for this webinar. Thank you again.
Thank you.